Hi everyone! Great to see you back, swarmers. And if you're new here, welcome. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and maybe the bell too, so you'll never miss any of our videos. Thanks, y'all. So we have recently spent some time exploring concrete and how environmentally damaging its production is. It has an extremely high carbon footprint, it's very resource intensive, and it is the second most consumed material on Earth after water. So when you hear the word hempcrete and that it's a new construction material, you'd be forgiven for thinking that someone clever has thankfully discovered a substitute for concrete. But despite its name-drawing obvious comparisons, this is not the case. So at the request of one of our amazing community members, and thank you, by the way, we love suggestions, we're exploring hempcrete. Now, you know what it isn't. Let's learn what it is and where it's extremely useful as possibly the most sustainable building material. It all starts from the hemp plant, which is related to cannabis, but with one important difference: very low levels of tetrahydrocannabinol, THC, the psychoactive compound in cannabis. So hemp can't be used to get high. There are uses for literally every single part of the plant. Thousands of uses, from textiles to medicine to paper to food, and as a building material. Hemp is one of the planet's most efficient carbon sequesters, able to absorb 1.63 tons of CO2e for every ton grown. It's one of the fastest growing plants on Earth, going from seed to maturity in 3 to 4 months, and hence a full life cycle within one growing season. And it's hardy, able to tolerate weather extremes and grow with very little water, making it suitable even in drought-prone areas. It helps to improve the nitrogen balance of soil, so it doesn't need fertilizers, and makes a great rotation crop for winter cereals, priming the soil to higher quality. It has even been used to intentionally absorb toxins and heavy metals from soil, currently being used for this in Chernobyl. It sends roots down deep, which helps keep the soil from eroding and simultaneously aerates it. It is sown with a no-till method, which cuts down on the emissions of carbon from plowing, from disturbance of the soil itself, and the machinery required. It is resistant to many pests and diseases, alleviating the need for pesticides, and simultaneously making it a great choice as a cover crop to reduce the need for pesticides for the main crop. So suffice it to say that it really does sound like a wonder plant, right? Not surprising that it's been used throughout the ages across the globe, including on an industrial scale for decades in Europe and Australia. So, how is it used in the building industry? Hempcrete is a non-load-bearing composite material, which is made from combining the woody part of the hemp plant stem, called hurd, with lime, called the binding, and water. The hempcrete is very lightweight and doesn't require heat for curing, so the embodied carbon of a building using hempcrete is low. The primary cure takes about 6 weeks, and the overall curing takes about 50 years to complete in a process called carbonation, absorbing atmospheric carbon day in and day out. The limestone binding is energy and carbon intensive in production, but the hemp absorbs even more than this produces when it's installed. Hemp can be basically grown anywhere, meaning it can be local to the processing plant, which is yet another way using hempcrete lowers the embodied emissions of a building project. It is resistant to humidity and mold because it dries quickly and maintains its structure when wet, meaning it can survive floods. It can be used in areas prone to seismic activity due to being less likely to crack under movement, and it is fireproof. However, it's this low-density, non-load-bearing aspect, which means it isn't a replacement for concrete. It can fill cavities, but requires a timber or steel frame to take the load. This product has extremely good acoustic absorption and even better thermal regulation properties. So what it does replace is fiberglass insulation, sheetrock, concrete or wool insulation blocks or bats, either in walls or ceilings, which is fabulous news. Adequate insulation in our homes is vital to stay comfortable, but more importantly, to decrease energy use from both heating and cooling. hempcrete can be produced in blocks, which slide and join together with ease and can be installed 70% faster than building with traditional material, whether inside a drywall or as an exterior wall. Or it can be poured within a frame and lightly tamped down. Or as another alternative, it can be sprayed onto the framework. The hempcrete can then be plastered or covered right over. More recently, there's been production of hemp wool, which replaces traditional, often abrasive and irritating insulation panels for use in places like floors, ceilings, and partition walls, or even RVs, and can be retrofitted. It can also be used to produce countertops and cabinets and as a plaster or sealant. So despite hempcrete not being the golden ticket out of using carbon-intensive concrete altogether, the use cases do mean it's an awesome alternative in certain situations. And as this material provides natural, safe, effective, carbon-absorbing, sustainable insulation, that is just such great news environmentally. Thankfully, the 2018 Farm Bill meant that regulations in the US caught up with the rest of the world, allowing industrial hemp to be grown. Yay! Okay, so that's it today, swarmers. We hope you've learned a few things about this very hardy, resilient, adaptable, and useful plant, as well as some specifics of hempcrete. It's been a pleasure, as always, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Stay sustainable out there, swarmers. Bye.